Hello everybody, welcome and thank you for joining me in this product presentation of the Xeikon FEU Fusion Embellishment Unit. The FEU combines the advantages of digital printing to high quality standards in embellishment. Embellishment that we see in today's label market being used a lot to increase shelf appeal, to add value and all sorts of features to today's labels. Of course, by adding these embellishments, we see in a conventional process that there are a lot of disadvantages, being long lead times for tools, expensive tools, long setup times, and much waste. This doesn't make you flexible towards your customers. Going digital will enable label producers to take those advantages, reduce time to market, reduce setup times, reduce waste, and creating a much more optimized production process. But that's all talk. Let's go over to the machine and look at the different modules that make this possible. So here we are at the beginning of the machine. The unwinder can take rolls up to 850 millimeters or 33.4 inches, from 100 to 400 web width millimeter, 4 to 16.5 inches, and it can also take a variety of thicknesses. What also is very important for the FEU is that it can take printed reels from every printing technology that's out on the market. Toner-based, inkjet-based, flexo, offset, everything is possible with the FEU. After the unwinder, we go to a web guide system. This to ensure that the material is always positioned in the middle of the machine. Corona treater, knowing the variety of technologies that the machine can handle, but also the variety in substrate types, being BOPP, PE, PET, metallized film, metallized paper, coated, uncoated. The whole variety of today's labels can be handled by the FEU. But of course, this Corona treater will then assure us of a perfect result every time again. Then we have a flexo station, a UV flexo station with mercury curing, optionally used for two reasons. A, functional, adding a primer to natural labels, such as wine stock, but also aesthetical. You could, for instance, add a matte varnish or a satin varnish, creating extra effects together with the machine's possibilities. Then we have two sensors, a very important sensor. First sensor is the VDP sensor. This sensor is actually key to make your workflow digital. This can actually read QR codes generated by our Xeikon X800 workflow and automatically load images and files into the machine software to create a closed loop with our Xeikon X800. Next to that, we have the mark reader. Simple, every printed web needs a marker, and this is for two reasons. First of all, of course, to trigger the inkjet station, but also to trigger the camera system. This brings us to the brain of the machine, the camera system. These are three cameras that are constantly monitoring the printed web. Monitoring and inspecting the printed web, not only on shifts left to right, up and down, but also on skew, stretch, and whatever types of distortions that can happen with all the different printing technologies. It's not only monitoring and inspecting. If it sees that some image is distorted, it's going to send it through to the software, and for that specific image, the actual printed varnish is adjusted to the actual pre-printed image on the web. The camera system will inspect every individual label on your pre-printed web, assuring that every single label has the correct and high quality registration. After the brain, we go to the heart of the system. The heart of the system is the inkjet printing unit. It exists of two inkjet bars of 360 dpi's, creating thicknesses from 7 microns to 232 microns, and this can also be in variable thickness because the software can handle grayscale images, and by doing so you can actually create one label with different thicknesses. You can also create textures. There's a very extensive library in the software that gives you the option to have a wallpaper texture over your complete material. The speed the inkjet bars can handle is maximum 42 meters a minute. This, of course, being depending on the thickness that you want to lay down. After inkjet printing, of course, we need curing. First step in curing is LED pinning. This is to pin the actual printed varnish and then go on further into the machine. After this first technology being the LED pinning, we have the infrared chamber. The infrared is needed when you want to have a flat surface of varnish. This will help the flood of the varnish in order to avoid pinholes or an uneven layer of varnish. So very important, we have this infrared option. The third technology, UV curing. The same UV curing as we know with the Flexo station. The difference is, in this UV curing station, we have a water-chilled roller, which enables us to use sensitive materials in terms of stretching, such as PE or pouches material. Very important that we have this to keep that wide range of substrates. What's also very important to know about the FEU is that it's digital, and it's not only about having no tooling or having fast changeover times in order to optimize your production process. Also, setup is very important, and that is why the FEU is equipped with 3 buffer stations. At the Flexo printing, at the UV inkjet printing, and at the foiling station, we have buffer stations that enable the operator to just print one image, go back, evaluate, adjust, and go on. This is an ideal situation to reduce waste while setting up. After this, we have the foiling station. 2 types of cores possible, 3-inch, 1-inch, and we can load up to 3 foiling rolls onto the machine at once. But how is this done? Very important to know is, for 2D, 3D, or variable thickness varnish effects, we use one type of varnish. But for the foiling, and to have the same type of effects, 2D, 3D, variable thicknesses, it's the same varnish. How do we do this? We print the foil image first in the varnish, we cure at a lower percentage with the UV lamp, and we come into this station. And this station will actually laminate the foil onto the printed web by using a heated roller that heats up the varnish, heats up the foil, and by delaminating, the printed image will actually be foiled and you have your foil created. Like I said, 2D foil, 3D foil, you can even varnish onto 3D foil, creating even more raised images. After this foiling unit, we are at the end of the machine. The rewinder. Standard rewinder, servo driven to have good tension, can go up to 850 millimeters, same as the unwinder. Optional, you can have a second rewinder shaft fitted. Rewinder shaft is standard 76 millimeters or 3 inches. What's another option on this FEU is actually a conventional die cut system equipped with a gap master. This enables companies to actually have rolls, embellishment, and label converting to a finished roll all at once. What we haven't discussed, being hardware, is actually software. Going Digital is of course very much attached to a very good software, and that is exactly what we have on the FEU. A highly intelligent software creating a very good user interface, very good communication, and high flexibility for the operator to handle the images that he needs to print. For instance, we have this editor here that enables the operator to look at the image and say, maybe I need some trapping, maybe I want to switch the varnish image, or maybe I want to add textures into the varnish or foil. That is all possible on the editor. This also enables you to have the customer in and do adjustments or create images on the spot. Not having to go to pre-press, not having to order new tools, do it all here at the machine, all in one go. Easy. Another great feature of the software is this interface. You have a very good overview of where you want to go. For instance, I want to print this job, select, and you come in this step-by-step screen, enabling you to actually adjust the paper format, margin in position, varnish position, quality, adjust thickness, heads configuration for your printing heads, and so on. A lot of possibilities, but very easily laid out so that embellishment doesn't become a very intensive procedure. It's very easy, everybody can do it, and everybody's flexible. So, to conclude, maybe some more highlights. Do 12 effects with only one varnish. Do everything digital. No need for tooling, no need for long lead times. No need for pre-press interventions. You can have your customer on site and just do it on the spot. Very interesting. Very short time to market, which will increase your competitivity amongst your colleagues. But too many highlights to go over in this video, so I would like to suggest, if you are interested, please contact us through our Xeikon website or through your Xeikon local agent and go into discussion with us so we can talk more about what the FEU can mean for you, your company, but most importantly maybe your customers. Thank you very much for your attention.